Good morning. So today we are headed back to December 18th, where we went to our first day at Festival of the Holidays. So of course that means we're headed off to Epcot. So since we weren't resort guests yet, just wait on that. We had time to kill until they opened the park. So once they and I can't remember what time they did this, and I apologize for that. They had us holding at one spot, and then they said, okay, we're gonna go up to a second spot that was actually right outside Starbucks Connections Eatery. They said, I go, can we go inside? Can we go get coffee? And the cast member said, yeah, you can, but you just have to be back out here before the park opens. Cool beans, especially since it was trying to kind of do a little misty rain thing going on. So we ordered, we sat down. Again, thank you, Fetch Rewards, for that free gift card. We just kind of relaxed. We used the bathroom. We chatted with these cute, adorable little girls who were with their grandparents, and the poor grandparents were absolutely mortified because they just came over and started talking and sat down at our table and were like, what are you eating? What are you drinking? And the grandparents were just watching us like this, and we're like, we work at a school. It's really okay. They aren't bothering us. It's no matter where we go. So about 5 minutes before the park opened, we went back outside, and of course it is still misty raining at this point, but it did stop, which was the important part. When the park was open to all guests, we went over to the land pavilion to jump on Living with the Land. I did ask for a front seat. I asked for a front seat because it's honestly the best way to get the best video, and also because it's good for grabbing pictures and you aren't trying to look over someone's head. Just saying. So once we did end up writing it twice in a row, one time so I could video, the second time so that I could take photos. And yes, I did ask for the front seat both times. So after that, we had to go visit Patrick and go soaring around the world, so that Sam could get relogged into the soaring game on the Play app. And as of the beginning of the month, he could still play. So since the food booths weren't quite open yet, we just kind of wandered around the pavilions and did some shopping, some window shopping, and we really just looked at stuff and kind of just were. It was really great not to be just running here and running there, and we just were. We were just in the state of being. But one of our first stops was to find a festival gift card. If you didn't know, each of the festivals has a specific designed gift card, and they only make a limited number of them, and they do sell out quickly. I will tell you that you cannot use another gift card to purchase it. It has to be cash, debit, or credit. You can transfer from one gift card to that one. So if you have $50 on a regular gift card and you put $25 on the festival one, you can move that 50 over. So good for information for you. A cast member did tell us that that right about the time we were there, which is the week before Christmas, they take them out of the two port of entry stores. As you're walking into World Showcase from the front, there's two stores, and that's typically where you can buy them the rest of the time. But that week that we were there, they gather them all up and they split them between the festival kiosks that are around World Showcase. So if you can't find one at one of those two stores, definitely check the festival kiosks. If that is a priority for you. They do kind of look like the ones that you can get at the water parks. They have the little band on it. My recommendation is to do like Sam does and clip that card under the band, either flush against your arm or put it into your bag, because if you just leave it dangling, someone can take a picture of it, unfortunately, and take the money off of your gift card. That hasn't happened to me, thankfully, but it is something that could happen, especially in today's age of really good cameras on phones. So we got our gift cards. We loaded our festival budget on it with our food money for the day. Also, this is a really great way if you are on a budget and you're going to be at Disney a while. This is a great way to budget your money because you can put X amount on your gift card for the day, and then when your money's gone, it's gone. You can either reload it or you're done. You can't, you're done for the day. So while we were browsing in the Japan Pavilion, I found a pair of chopsticks that said Mia on them. Right here. I took a picture of them and sent them to one of my supervising teachers, and here's why. One of my students cannot say L's, and she has started calling me Mia. I have been Mia since the beginning of the year. I am her Mia. And I now have kindergartners who are very confused. Is it your name, Miss Lena? Yes. Then why does that person call you Mia? Because she calls me Mia. Can I call you Mia? Sure, I don't care. So I now have a whole group of kindergartners who bounce back and forth between Miss Lena, Mrs. Leah, and Miss Mia. And I'm here for it. So, finally, the food booths opened. I was ready for this. Just a note, the food booths don't really open until around 11 a.m. When the food opens in World Showcase, even if stores and shows and stuff are open, the festival booths will not open until 11. The first stop was Germany. I got my grapefruit beer, which I was very excited about because I cannot get it around here, and a cheese fondue and a bread bowl from the Bavaria booth. The cheese bread bowl was served with bread cubes, like the innards of the bowl, along with steamed vegetables and boiled potatoes. Now, I will never say I thought I would eat steamed baby carrots with cheese. But here we are, and it was really good. There was also little baby steamed zucchinis, and I did try it. I just wasn't a fan. I am not a zucchini person anyway. I did try it. I did not like it. And funny enough, I was really surprised at how good the potatoes and cheese were. And Sam's like, you eat a baked potato with cheese. You eat broccoli cheese soup and a potato. And I'm like, oh, fair. Like, he was looking at me like, I can't believe you are honestly this surprised. During this time while I'm eating this bread bowl, Sam got a souvenir stein. It's plastic, just FYI. And they have one style. With a dark dunkel beer. And the whole thing, the stein and the beer was only $20. And just remember, pricing is subject to change. It is listed on the MDE app. So if it's something that interests you, take a look at that. I did take a taste of it and had to grab my beer to wash it down because I did not like that. That was awful. He can keep the dunkel beer all to himself. I will not steal that from him. After our food stop number 1, we wandered around and just kind of enjoyed ourselves around the festival. We headed over to the Italy Pavilion and found an empty table and was watching one of the performers. Unfortunately, it did start to rain during this. It was because he ended his show. We headed into the shops and did some looking around. I found the perfect thing to represent my Mimi, which is what we call my grandmother, who we lost in January of 2025. She collected the porcelain masks. A little store in our home where I grew up in Marion used to sell them before they burned down, and they're porcelain masks. We actually had bought her a few from the Italy Pavilion on our trips, but they were itty bitty little earrings, and they were purple. And they were $20, and I bought them. And I now get to take my Mimi with me wherever I go, whenever I wear those earrings. And I've worn them several times to school, and the kids just think they are the coolest thing. They're like, are they watching me? And I'm like, yes, they are watching you for me. Food stop number 2, which was unfortunately in the rain, was at the Morocco booth for the non-bread and dipping sauces. I like the hummus, and Sam likes whatever the green sauce is, and we always end up swapping that once we get settled. We did find a table outside. We were really excited. Unfortunately, it started to rain. The covering of the patio at the Morocco Pavilion is not completely covered. So we had to stand inside and finish eating our non-bread and dip with everyone else who had been sitting outside and getting soaked. So I kind of wish Disney would kind of finish covering that. I will preface right here and saying I was feeling awful at this point in the day. I was coughing really bad. I had went through all of the cough drops that I had. We had went to the baby care center up by the Communicore and got a bag of cough drops. That was $5, by the way. So make sure to pack extra cough drops if you think you might need some. I really just wanted to sit and cry. I felt so awful. Sam was like, hey, let's just go over to the UK pavilion and sit out in the garden and you can rest. So since it cleared off, we walked over there. We kind of walked around in the shops a little bit. I'm just like zoned out, like trying to just survive at this particular moment. During this time, Sam said he was literally processing the idea, and he had in the morning and just hadn't gotten around to asking me about it. Which if we, like, the whole day would have potentially went a whole different way if we had talked about it in the morning or the night prior. But he was thinking, going, why don't we just pay for a night, leave Cabana Bay a night early, just not worry about it, and go over to Disney. So while we're sitting on the bench, he broached the idea. We looked at the pricing. We looked at what we had in the bank, which was a lot because we hadn't spent much, and we decided to go for it. So he went and picked up a gift card in the UK pavilion. I prefer paying with gift cards. It doesn't lock up our debit card as bad. And then whatever was left, we would just transfer onto one of our food cards. So here's how that kind of all went down. We booked the room. We left the UK pavilion and kind of slowly just wandered around as I'm like trying to cough my head off. We went back to the car, drove over to All Stars Music, and got settled. And the amazing older gentleman who was the cast member was so amazing. He called housekeeping and was able to link that night's reservation and our actual one night reservation that we had the next night together, so we didn't have to move. He sprinkled some extra magic on us while we were there. We got our room settled. And Sam and I we filled up our mugs in the food court. Sam walked me to the room so he knew where it was. And Sam went back to Universal and packed up everything in our hotel room by himself. Then he video called, and I laid down on the bed for a little bit. And by that point I was out of something to drink in my mug. And so I just kind of slowly made my way back to the food court and just kind of sat there. I kind of just vegged right like at one of the tables in the food court, and I was close to the refill machine. And he video called me, and we like did a room tour around the room to make sure that like nothing was left or forgotten that I might have put somewhere that he didn't realize. So big kudos, big shout out, big thank you to Sam for doing that. It's the little things that really, make it, so big shout out to him. So I did filmed a room tour of our room while he was gone. I wandered around the resort just trying to breathe. After the video call, I went back to the room and I laid down on the bed and I just passed out until he got back. He texted me that kind of, because I have a Fitbit, it buzzes. And he's like, hey, I'm stuck in traffic. I'm going to be a little while. That is perfectly acceptable. I'm going back to sleep. So I went back to sleep. He was gone roughly an hour and a half to 2 hours. He really repacked the room, got it to the car, and like back relatively quickly. If you think about it. So once he was back, we got on the bus, Disney transportation back to Epcot, because we did only have a 1 day, we didn't have park hoppers. I was kind of craving Chinese, but nothing at the festival booth was sounding good. Excuse me, I had to sneeze off camera. So we headed to Lotus Blossom, and I got the orange chicken. And Lotus Blossom gets a lot of like hate, but I actually really like it. I think it's great, especially when you aren't feeling great. I went and got food. Sam was saving a table. I looked and I looked and I looked, and apparently I was looking at the back of his head and not at him. I'm like, hey, where are you? I don't know where you are, so I'm just sitting down at a table. And literally he was 2 tables over just staring at me like, really? But I got my food, then he went to go get his food, and bless his heart, he ended up not only getting a meal for him, but he got an extra kids meal, because it came with an extra egg roll and an apple juice. And as we all know, I've been sucking down apple juice on this trip. So I sucked down that apple juice. And we wandered around, took some more pictures, and we headed back to the room. Sam went to the car to grab our small black Disney suitcase and the electronics that were still in there. I enjoyed a treat from the Werther store in the Germany pavilion. It was a chocolate caramel pecan cluster. And yes, I sent a picture to my mom and was like, this doesn't taste good at all. Do you want me to bring you home one? And she's like, of course I do. So Sam got back to the room. We turned on some Disney, and we went to sleep. So that ends our first park day at Epcot and kind of a surprise midday resort switch. Thanks so much for watching. Make it a magical